Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing here? Let me get a couple things moved over. There we go. And we'll get this moved over. All righty. There we go. Hey, Lisa, Steve, Lynn, BD, Stu, Roger, Daryl, Bill, good morning. Mark, good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy, let's see, this is Thursday, right? Thursday? Yay, Thursday. All right. Let's see. Wait just another second here. See folks logging in over here on the social side. Cool. Okay. So wake up this morning and there's nothing earth shattering. That's good. Market's not. Let me do this too. Market's not dropping drastically and not jumping up, so you have to chase everything. Hey, good morning, Stephen. How are you? All right. So here's a SPY. We're still doing the same thing. Nothing looks like it's going to change here. We do have some earnings coming out. We want to watch Race, RACE, NVO, Oscar. Oh no, these aren't earnings, upgrades. These are upgrades. Oh, cool. Look at that. Shop, DAO, Fastly, Oscar, NVO, Race, upgrades. We'll have to make sure we check on those at some point today. Some news on PLTR, it looks like. PLTR was upgraded, hold rating to a strong buy rating. There's another upgrade on PLTR, giving it $180 price target. So, it could be this is the bottom area. It doesn't have to be. It can still slip and then move up there. So, but let's keep our eyes on Palantir, okay? This could be a very nice trade. For those that can't trade Palantir, there's another one, PLTR. Is that right? No. PTIR. There it is. PTIR, the single stock ETF, for only about $15 here. So that could be one you could trade if you can't do, the more expensive one. Completely understand. Let's see. We've got some jobless claims, continuing as jobless claims, and jobless claims 4-week average. Okay. So want to make sure that market doesn't tank or anything on that. So, okay, let's take a look at this market. So the SPY is still up here, pretty nice. Somebody asked me after the close yesterday what this purple line was, and I share freely that my trading trend is the green dots and the T line, kind of a mix of them. I use them both together, and price action. So if that's my trading trend, I look at that as being my overall trend. That's what's going on here. So I just took this price right here from where that took the line and to where that green dot was, and just put it on the current dot, and that's the trend. That's the trend I want to look at. So you can see that we're holding. I mean, we've had a couple of bum days here, but as bum as they might have been, they're not horrible. I mean, they're not great taking off either, but they're not horrible. So really, for me, what this is just one crazy choppy market, hard market. I find it a hard market to trade. I'm not bashful to say that. I find this kind of market rough for me to trade, and I'm pretty sure that a fair amount of people would agree with the same thing, that we're just kind of sideways, going nowhere. The trend, while we're still trending, grinding up, we're just sort of moseying along sideways at the same time. So, but nevertheless, we're still above that trend and we're still bullish. Okay. Take a look at the diamonds here. Diamonds are still very bullish, no question about that. Take a look at IWM, bullish, no question about that. Someone might look at this and say, hey, we have a bearish engulf yesterday. Yeah, you do. But it doesn't, one, guarantee it's going to have follow through. In fact, that's what we want. If there's a bearish engulf, you leave it alone You notice it, but you pay attention when it has follow through. And so far, it doesn't have follow through. I mean, we're holding inside here today. Did I look at IWM? That is IWM. Let's look at the Qs. The Qs, they're still sick, pathetic, horrible, a turd, whatever you want to call them. I will say yesterday that ended up with a pretty decent candle. Looked like they were about to pop right in there. They did a good job coming back. Let's see what this does today. If they can turn up back over the 50, they are now sweet, pretty, fantastic. they're not terrible. They're not all those negative words. They're positive words. So let's see if that happens. On the Qs, we need to get above this cloud area. That would be awfully nice. See how, and it's not, there's no guarantee once you get above the cloud you're gonna, run like that. But it sure is helpful when you are. You push up here, and then that could lead to some pretty bigger. That's not the Qs, Rick. Good grief. There we go. We're still under the cloud. So we get back on that top of that cloud. That could start that move back up. Man, here at one time we were at 637, 630, right in there. Man, we could be 650 or plus on the Qs here before you know it. So what it's going to take is those mags, go mags. See where they are? We're going to take them. It's going to take them to get up here. And if that happens, then hey, let's get ready to rock and roll. Okay, we could be there. Yeah, let's go back over to this chart right here. Let's take a look at some transports. Important sector for the market. Very, very important. And it looks pretty bullish to me right here. Wouldn't you agree? Looks pretty darn bullish. Setting up in a nice 3-8 trap right now. And then we've got SMH. This is also another very important. If we're talking about the two most important sectors in the market, those are the two most important sectors, I believe. And they're both bullish as well. They're rocking. So, the market is still bullish. It's just in that kind of a slow, not going anywhere area, but we are overall bullish here. Take a look at SLV. I'm not long this yet, but I'm certainly looking to get long. I sure would like it to break out of the trend indicator. That will be my clue that if we can do that, break out that, make those red dots green, that's what I'll be looking for. And then I would love to be long SLV. AG is another one. There we go. AG is another one. This is set up nice 3-8 trap right here too, where we've popped up, pulled back. Very nice 3-8 trap in there. Here's a few charts that I've got. Feel free to post anything that you might have. Take a look at this CBRL setting up. So here's something I like about CBRL. You got that nice trend right there. See how it popped up and then just pulled back? Beautiful. Trend indicator right there, green. So we're just looking for that breakout, or it's a buy right in this area here. It could be bought first thing this morning. Just make sure your stop's in. By the end of the day, I would want it to be above those green dots right there, okay? Nice chart. How about some OPCH? Look at OPCH. This is a nice flip. Bouncing off the 50-period moving average. This is a very nice chart. Bouncing off a trending 50-period moving average. We've got a morning star signal, and we're flipping from red to green right here. So OPCH is looking very, very nice here for a higher move. Let's look at the weekly and see what's over here on the left. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Let's come over here and take this top and go down to the low. That's pretty darn close if you ask me. So I'm going to put a mark right here because that's right there at that sweet spot. Next target to the upside will be right there. Good trading. That's a nice chart. Yeah, good trading, everyone. Let's see here. How about some MDU? Uh, Look at that setting up. This is a nice one too. A nice pop, say off the 50 period moving average, going from red to green on the trendicator dot. So I'm watching this one. I think we better put a line across here like that. And we need to be, to make any real money, you need to be over there, but certainly is in a buying area right here. Second here. Throat's dry. Let's see, what else do we have? CV. I'm pretty sure this is not right. No, can't read my own writing. All right, let's pick on some of you guys here. Hey, MSH, some McDonald's. Yeah, I think that's doing pretty good there. Yeah, look at McDonald's. Beautiful trend on McDonald's. Earnings yesterday, I believe. Nice candle here. It's going to open up right in here. It's not going to have this candle today. It's going to open up right in here. But McDonald's is looking terrific. Real nice. Good morning, Sharon. Looking at some Target. That's a beautiful trending chart. Here, let's do this. These are things that I think everybody should keep an eye on. Low to a high, to a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's a perfection chart right there. That's absolutely perfection. So we're getting our higher low, and we're going to be looking for that higher high. So I think that's absolutely perfection right there. Nice. URA, yeah, that is setting up. I think we looked at that yesterday too. Yeah, look at URA here, off the 50, up and rest, up and rest. I've got a alert set right here. The alert set at about 54.95. So my alert will go off. That'll be a nice buy. It's buyable right now with a stop. There's the 50% retracement. So I'm going to call that target 1, target 2, and there's target 3 right there. Well, maybe we should call this target 1, right? Target 1, target 2, target 3, then target 4. We should do that. I saw that this morning. Yep, look at that. Flipping from that. You see, this is, let me do this real quick. Bear with me. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to take price off for a second. There we go. See how green? And then we turn red, sideways, green, a clear pullback though. And now see how we're starting to turn green again? I love that kind of setup. Absolutely fantastic. So yes, U is one to keep an eye on. Put that back. There we go. The only thing is watch those earnings. It's on the 25th. Okay. Watch those earnings. Let's see. MU. Let's take a look at MU. Let me write one. Bear with me 1 second here. I've got a little thing here. Oh, wife took care of it. All right. Thank you. Let's take a look at DEC. DEC was another one I saw this morning. Yeah, look at that. Nice gap. And now we're in a trap here. This is for members, you guys all may have the scan, but this is, when a stock gaps up, it's a gap and trap. And, what we're looking for is the stock to gap. And then when it gaps, I always, when people in the room during the day, when they show me a stock that gaps up, I always, is there more to the story? And I always ask, well, what are you going to do with it now? Well, what are you going to do with it? So here's what I want to do with it is let it pull back and set up for a trade. So here's the gap. Here's a setup right here. This could have been an entry area, both that red candle and that green candle. And now we're moving sideways. This is an entry area right here. We're looking for that gap to continue. But in my opinion, the majority of stocks that gap up will pull back. So this is just a way to find those gap and traps right here. This very nice chart. Love it. Yeah. Let's see. Good morning. We looked at that one. I looked at All right. I've got some more here. Let's talk AG. I'm liking what AG is doing. It's holding right in here. So this is a nice little entry in this area. Or if you feel like, it's better entry here, that's, some things are just trader's choice. Me, we're in that 3A trap. I think that's a good entry right in there. Take a look at Apple. Apple is still setting up. It's been doing that for a couple of days now. And I've neglected to buy any because it just haven't had that warm, fuzzy, loving feeling that this is the buy. I just haven't had that warm, loving feeling, but it is setting up. So I'll continue to watch that. Since we're there, let's take a peek at Tesla. Tesla's coming up. It may get to that 50. I don't particularly think this is a buy yet. One thing that it hasn't done is given us a higher low. So it needs to give us a higher low and then move up. Now it's up so high, I just as soon it break out over the 50, then pull back for that higher low. But right now, I don't believe it's a buy at this point. Not yet. Good morning, Sonny. KQXCO. There we go. Yeah, beautiful gap up. And, for the gap traders, you can certainly trade right here. I'm more of a let's let it kind of pull back here, but an excellent gap. Very nice gap, in fact. Very nice. Let's look at that weekly chart. Look at the upside potential on that. Yipes. Ton of upside potential. In fact, I'm just going to put a line right here at the dotted deuce. There you go. So 3170. So yeah, all right. And I think that's a great target. So now every trader's got to decide what's your trade. How do you enter this? There's a lot of ways to enter it. The gap, and I want to buy it right away. Traders, watch today's candle. If it starts, showing strength, well, you might want to be in that. For those that want to wait for a pullback, just patiently wait. I'll bet you a big old cheeseburger it will. It may move up a little more, but it will pull back and give us that pullback entry here. But that's a super nice chart. Super nice chart. Thanks for posting that out. CRWV, I was asked a couple of times about this yesterday, and this one is setting up too. Here we've popped up from below the 50-period moving average, moving sideways. It's poised to pop here at some point. It's just percolating right now. So keep an eye on that one. Yeah. What else do we have here? GE. Anybody following GE? There's another one. See how that's made a low, a high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, set up to make that next higher high there. Hey, Vern, you're looking at some B? Yeah, B, trending. Above the cloud, trending beautifully here. I do think, let's do this real quick. I'm going to take this high and go down to this low. Okay, we are. See where these candles here, they kind of stopped right at that 50% mark. This is that 50% mark right there. See where the thicker line is from the top to the bottom. It stopped, kind of hung over. And now we're over that. So that's the line that I would use as a stop area right there. And above that is bullish. So it's, what it's doing this is suggesting that think of the buyers and sellers in here. Think of there's only 100, and the vote has been taken, and there's majority of the traders are leaning to the bullish side. The higher this goes, the more votes, the more bear votes are pulling away and moving to the bull votes. So keep an eye right there. Nice. As long as it stays over that 50%, way to go. Slick yellow candle. That's pre-market, John. That's a pre-market candle. When the market opens, that candle won't be there. Yeah. Take a look at glue, short. That's a big yes. I'm going to write that one down. Here, you know what? I've got a couple of shorts. Let's look at those. Um, yeah. So glue, yes. Potential short here, fading a 50 period moving average. There's still more gap here to fill, about 12%. Um, yeah, yeah, that could be a very nice short. Thank you. Um, Another one is this NLY. NLY, look at that. I think this came from one of our members, Daniel, I believe, that I spotted this morning. He posted in the room here. There's a nice short setting up in LY. And if I have this ticker right, but it looks like my writing is that's not right. Oh, I know what this is. ASTS. There we go. ASTS is setting up for a short. We've been up. We've now failing the 50 period moving average, suggesting there's real weakness coming into it. So that may see some downside coming on. All right. How good are we? Thoughts on DLTR? Let's see. DLTR. The jury's out. Yeah, I think we need more information. Part of me is thinking short, and part of me is thinking, well, you know, the short part of me, I see a bear flag being made, just like that. There's a part of me that says, I look at this price action, the candles here, and these, I think the candles are showing strength with the bulls, but I think we're on the edge, and I think we need more information on that. Could go either way. Yeah, it could go either way. Let's see here. Good morning, Lisa. You've been watching Ed. I'm going to tell him that. Ed, beautiful chart. You can't argue with the trend. The power of the trend is amazing. Let me, it really is. You know, you find a chart that has a trend, and how do you find a trend? The longer those dots are green, the more it's a trend. It's real simple. And then look at the opportunity you get maybe on pullbacks. Actually, I mean, all through here, perhaps. I mean, right there. Look at that right there. This right here. You know, we've had 2 bars up, and you've got an inside day. That's potential money right there. Continuing that trend. So nice chart. Thank you very much for sharing, Lisa. Appreciate it. Skim, SK, is that SKM? There we go. Yeah, look at that. Breaking out. You know, no matter what you look at, there's going to be better entries. For instance, here's your we gapped down, we came back up. All that could have been entry in there, yesterday entry, and now the breakout is an entry here. Beautiful, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Goodson. Hello, Daryl. Daryl's hot today. METC as a short certainly could be. Couple of things. Let's try to make this a little bigger to start with. There we go. Couple of things. The 500 period moving average is right there at 1575. That could be a place that it finds its footing. But here's that's a pro to be bullish maybe. Now here's a pro to be bearish. Put the cloud on here, and you can see we're about to break out of the cloud to the downside. So that would be a bearish setup right there. So keep an eye on it. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on it. Yep. But right now, I would lean toward the bearish side. Just watch that 500 in there. Yeah, that's what I would do. What else do we have here? VG. Yeah, look at that. Whoops. Let's fix that. There we go. VG remains bullish. Trend remains bullish. Price is down here low, so this is in a viable area. Even if price moved down to the trend indicator, that would be viable. See how we move down here? Down here, I would look at that as being viable. Target is going to be the 50% retracement. The 200 would be the next target. So target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4 is actually right there. Target 4 on that. But VG is looking long, looks really good. Let's look at the weekly on that. Look at that weekly setting up. Really nice. Yeah, looks like a great chart. Good morning, Sharon again. Microsoft. So Microsoft is nothing but a bear to me right now. Nothing about it that suggests anything wrong at this point. It is getting a bit oversold, I will say that. So we could see some relief rally. Um, Relief rally. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh my God, Microsoft's bullish. It just means a relief rally is what that means. META. Now I'm bullish that. I'm actually long that right now. I'm bullish that just the way it's setting up and holding right now. Been there for a couple of days. Still looking for it to break out, and I don't want it to break below the 50 period moving average here. So keep an eye on that one. What was the other one? Google. Yeah, that has to be a bear chart. I'm afraid there's nothing bullish about that at all. The to get real bearish, we're going to have to take out that low. That's making a bearish H pattern is what it's doing. Dreaded H pattern is what that's called. Below that 306.81, that low right there, that's going to put that bearish H pattern on the move right in here. Now, there could be some bulls looking at this thinking, okay, we're holding that, so this could be a buy. Could be, but I certainly wouldn't do it unless I had a bullish candle in here. Google is not one that you've got to get in, the first heartbeat. Let this thing, if it's going to show some bullish feathers, let it show some bullish feathers. Give it time. Let it, like I say, let it show it and then trade it long. But right now it is looking short to me, a bit short. BK is another one. Yeah, BK is another one setting up. You're right there in the buy pocket, right in here, definitely right in the buy pocket. Overall, the chart is grinding higher here. We've had that thrust, that move up, and now that rest right in here. Excuse me. The only way to get a move like this in a stock like BK, a big stock, the only way to get a move there like that is not you and I. It's not traders that trade from their home. All right. It's traders, big money. Not that some don't have big money, but it's big money that makes this kind of a move. Well, this is big money buying it. Now, big money can't buy. Say they allot, I don't know, $30 million to buy a stock. I'm just putting a number out there. They can't go in here and spend the $30 million at one time. If they did, what would happen is this right here, green. What would happen is the stock would gap up and they would end up trading with themselves for a while. They're up there all by themselves. So what they do is they leg into it, and that's legging in right there. And then there's profit taking that comes in. And now, at some point, they're going to put that next leg in there. I can't say it's going to be today. Could be 6 months from now, as far as I know. But that's that first leg. Now we get this pullback, and this is what we like to look for. Or even, the breakout right there. So BK looks quite nice. There it is. Put NVIDIA on the watch list. Yeah, NVIDIA looks like it's about to break out. Absolutely. It's been that way for a few days now. It's been trapped in this box right here. Can't go higher, can't seem to go lower. And so maybe we're headed for that breakout. They do have earnings toward the end of the month, so that could make a big difference as well. But yeah, I do think NVIDIA is poised to break out here. I don't see any reason why they're not going to have good earnings. I suspect they will. No reason to think they're not. So that could be a real catalyst to the market to push this market up here. So yeah, looking at Disney short. Yeah, Disney's a short here. Yeah, bearish H pattern. There's the H, there's the back of the H right there, and there's the making of the H. But yeah, Disney short. Let's look right here. Thoughts on Joby, Joby. Still short. no long. Yeah, still short, no long. And let's so over here. Did we look? We did. How about some ALB? Long chart. Nice. That's flagged already. Um, we've been down. We tried to move up. We went down. And now we're moving up and we're doing a little better than trying. A little better. Yeah. Above the T line now. Trend indicator's green. I like that. Very nice. Joe, thanks for the pre-market breakdown. Always appreciate it. Thank you very much, Joe. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you saying so. All right, everybody, let's call this a morning right here. Members, we'll see you at the bottom of the hour. Member, if you're a trial, you're a full member. So make sure you stay in the trading room or hang out with us, okay? Everyone, take care. We'll see you in about 30 minutes, all right? Later. Good trading.